missed it by that much. That is the theme of this week. Hello, everybody. Welcome to After Action Report, your numbers breakdown show for all Schmoedown matches to keep you caught up on all the action. As always, your host Meg's here, and joined also, as always, by the great Nat. This was quite the week so far. A lot to keep track of, a lot to remember. Nat, what were your big things that you took away from this match? Some big thought you had?
First of all, I just want to address, Jake here says this is our only show that starts on time. The disrespect to Twitch Tuesdays, I swear to God. But yeah, this week has been great. I understand that all of you are super busy. I mean, there's E3 week this week, and it's Hot Boy Summer coming up, and also your birthday is coming up this week. All that applies to me mostly, but it's been a busy week for everyone. So if you can't keep up with all your matches, then watch this show, and you'll be caught up in no time. There's some big takeaways. Some great matches, some great Star Wars matches. You'll love to see those. And, yeah, let's get into it.
Absolutely. So just to remind everybody what all happens, and to also just general reminder, we are going to spoil the pay-per-view match. So if you don't want to know, leave. You will actually get a little bit of a spoiler right away, because we have the Star Wars semi-tournament final, which was Gold Leader versus Zach Burkett. Singles match, Clea Wiggins versus Sabrina Ramirez. Also another singles match between Doug Benson and Chris Van Vliet, two rookies. Benson actually a long-awaited entrance into the league. It's been about 2 years in the making there. And then our throwdown, we had the tournament final, which, spoiler, Gold Leader wins his semifinal match and faces Thomas Harper in the final. And the IG number one contender match between Chandra and Robert Parker. So right away, a pretty stacked week. And so you guys know, many of you have been super generous on donating during this show. I posted the link to our Streamlabs in the chat if you scroll up there to the top. If you would, go ahead and donate through there versus Super Chats if possible. I'll be checking those throughout the show, but it helps us a little bit more if you can do it that way. But without further ado, let's jump into our first match of the week, which was the Star Wars Tournament semi-final against Gold Leader and the Attack, Zach Burkett, representing Finstock Exchange and the Stars, respectively. Coming out of round one, we are tied at 11.
Yeah,
both of these guys going perfect, plus the bonus. Coming over into round two, because Gold Leader is technically higher ranked, he defers over to Zach, who spins away from Mixed Bag and ends up taking the Force Awakens. And he goes 9 out of 10, doing one multiple choice check down, but not resulting in any steal opportunities. Going over to Gold Leader, who decides to take Return of the Jedi on his first spin and sweeps the round for the perfect 10 out of 10, to where Gold Leader has now gone up by 1, 21-20, going into the third and final round, where it is a ping pong back and forth the entire time. Burkett gets a 2-pointer in the Clone Wars, Gold Leader his 2-pointer in The Last Jedi, 3-pointers, Burkett, Planets and Locations, Gold Leader Heroes, the 5-pointers, Burkett, Return of the Jedi, and Gold Leader hitting a 5-pointer in The Empire Strikes Back, which does give him the win with a final score of 31-30, where Gold Leader answered 19 of 19 questions, 100% accuracy, and 100% of 31 available points were awarded to him. Zach Burkett answered 19 of 19 questions as well for 100% accuracy, but scored 97% of 31 available points. So, in keeping with our theme of this week, just one off, that one check down to multiple choice for Zach Burkett in that round two resulted in that 1-point deficit that was the end of the game, because Gold Leader did not miss. Now, Nat, there were some comments made during the match. I believe Roxy brought this up, the idea of strategy. Now, my thought on this is, what would have happened if Burkett had used a JTE instead of going to multiple choice? Does he get the full points?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I think he would have had a better chance at it. that use of the JTEs takes experience to master. But I mean, this match, how are you going to have 100% accuracy and still lose? I'll tell you how. You play in the Star Wars division, that's how. And
Absolutely.
it's ridiculous. Like one check down, he got all of his questions right. I see Ryan in the chat saying if you miss one, you're done. He didn't miss. He just checked down multiple choice. That was it. That's the mistake that cost him the match.
Yeah, technically he did not miss a question. He just chose to take one question down to a lower point value to guarantee that he gets it, and it ended up costing because his opponent didn't have to. And I think that is something that we're seeing as kind of a trend in these newer competitors in the Star Wars division. They're not utilizing their JTEs as much, perhaps, as some of the other competitors. They're so used to, and especially if you're from another type of competition where you're not used to having that option, you may be a little bit more inclined to just take the lower point value versus doing a repeat. Because, I mean, it's possible that Zach could have taken the repeat, and then he would have still had to check down multiple choice, but you're still giving yourself and utilizing the components of the game to better allow you to get those fuller point values and potential points inside of these matches, which when you're at this level, at this caliber in the Star Wars division, you need to be able to hit all those potential points. More on that as we move into our final match here towards the end of the week. But just checking on over here over at Streamlabs to see if you guys have sent anything in. Looks like we are good for now, but we are going to go ahead and shift on over to our second match of the week, meaning Clee Sweetie Wiggins, new sign or new moniker there, and Sabrina the Siren Ramirez, friend of the show. Check out her No Chill episode. A lot of fun there. Coming into this first round, Wiggins is up by 1 with a final score there of 4-3, coming out a little rough for round 1 for both of these ladies. It does happen. Coming into the second round, Clee decides to spin first. She spins opponent's choice and is given Harrison Ford, where she is actually able to sweep the round for the full 8 out of 8. Coming over to Ramirez, she also spins opponent's choice, and she is given Star Trek, to which she is able to get 1 out of 8 available points, checking down to multiple choice on all 4 questions and giving up 3 of them for 1-point steals. Wiggins does gain an additional 10 points during this round to be now up by 11, which does give her the win via KO with a final score of 15-4, where Clee Wiggins answered 11 of 15 questions for 73% accuracy and scored 75% of 20 available points, and Sabrina Ramirez answering 4 of 12 questions for 33% accuracy and scored 80. That is not correct. That is not 85% of 17 available points. I will need to double check that before we move on. Sorry, I messed that up, guys. But regardless of that, something that we saw here, we had another example of double opponent's choice. These 2 rounds give us both the best and worst case scenarios that you want when you have the opportunity to give your opponent's choice. Mm-hmm. Because the worst outcome was Sabrina gives Clee Wiggins a slice on opponent's choice, and she sweeps the round. Ideally, you don't want that. Versus what Wiggins was able to give Sabrina. Sabrina had to check down the multiple choice every time, which is smart to minimize the damage of steal opportunities. So checking down all 4 times was a smart strategic move. However, she was not able to capitalize on the fact that she did check down the multiple choice that many times. So that did give Clee Wiggins the advantage of being able to pick up on 3 of those 4 questions. And that was just too big of an obstacle, with her also going perfect in the one prior. So I think things just kind of started out rough for both these ladies in the round 1. That does happen. And then both the best and worst case scenarios happened for either lady in round 2. So That's really all you can say about that. It was best case scenario for Klee, given what position she was at coming out of round one, and unfortunately for Sabrina, it was the worst case scenario, was something that she wasn't quite prepared for. So, kind of all I want to say on that. Nat, did you have anything else you wanted to say about this match?
Yeah, it was definitely a huge tale of two opponents' choice spins. I mean, it's got to be so demoralizing to get opponent's choice for your opponent and give them a category and they just sweep it. And it's got to be so validating to give your opponent a category that they have to check down a multiple choice and you get like 3 steals. So this just did not go the way that Sabrina wanted. I think everything that could have went wrong did. I think that Sabrina's a lot better than this match. Like if you talk to her, you know that she knows her stuff. I just think that this particular set of questions just stumped her. So I was really hoping Sabrina would win because we had her on No Chill and she was great and she's like the nicest person ever. But credit goes to Clee Wiggins because her questions were not easy. Like there was that one question, that one Harrison Ford question, Call of the Wild, and it was what was the name of the dog? And I saw that movie. I could not for the life of me tell you the name of that dog. That was the most forgettable movie ever, and the fact that she swept that category was so impressive. So, kudos to Clee Wiggins.
Absolutely. And guys, I will fix this graphic before I post it on social media. But for the audio record, Sabrina she was able to get 24 of 17 available points, 24% of 17 available points. So again, that'll be fixed before I post everything online, but for you guys to recognize there. And the only reason I knew that Harrison Ford Call the Wild question was that book was beloved of mine as a child. So if you don't know the story really well, it's an easy one to get past you. But anyways, we are going to look at this match, which is Doug Benson against Chris Van Vliet. Doug Benson was on a roster last season, but due to some scheduling or what have you, with everything that was going on, he was not able to play last year. So this is his official rookie debut in the league, and Chris Van Vliet being someone fairly new to the league. But this match, a lot to discuss here, so let's just dive right in. We had, coming out of round one, Van Vliet is up by 1, 6-5 coming out of this round. Coming into round two, Van Vliet decides to defer over to Doug, who takes sports on his first spin and sweeps the round for the full 8 out of 8. And Chris spins away from 1980s and ends up taking Reese Witherspoon, where he ends up getting 4 out of 8 available points, checking down a multiple choice twice, and giving up both of those for 2 multiple choice steal opportunities. So Benson gains 6 to now be up himself 5, 15-10 coming out of that second round. Coming here into the third round, Chris misses a 2-pointer in crime, but avoids a TKO by hitting a 3-pointer and a 5-pointer in 1980s and family films, respectively. Then we get over to Doug Benson, who misses a 2-pointer in sports, hits a 3-pointer in Spielberg, and he misses his 5-pointer in spy movies, to where these guys are tied, 18-18. We are going to sudden death yet again. Totally crazy circumstances to where the first 2 questions, these guys are both hitting it. They're blow for blow here. They both miss questions 3, 4, and 5 to then have Benson hit the 6th and final question in the round to win with a final score of 21-20, where Doug Benson answered 15 of 23 questions for 65% accuracy and scored 60% of 35 available points. Chris Van Vliet answered 12 of 21 questions for 57% accuracy and scored 61% of 33 available points. Now, talk about a little bit of a baptism by fire here, because you're rookies and you suddenly get thrown into sudden death and have to go 6 questions deep. Not just, we get 1 or 2 questions in here. 6 questions? Are you serious? Talk about high stress and high pressure situations here.
Yeah. I mean, you don't get much more stressful than going to sudden death. And to answer 6 questions, that is rough for a rookie debut. I like this match. These were two people I was familiar with before they made their Schmoedown debut. So I was very looking forward to this match. It was neck and neck the whole way. So it was very quietly a great match. Like the accuracy wasn't like top tier or anything. It was kind of a low scoring affair, but it was so tight and so close the entire way. So I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, for this being a relatively low stat number game, it surprised me how intense it was. Mm-hmm. I was watching in the match. I was all invested, and it was neck and neck the whole time. And all the ebbs and flows that we had all throughout the match. Chris being up by 1, Benson coming back to then be up by 5 going into that third round, which usually you have a 5 and higher lead, you're going to have to push your opponent to hit that 5-pointer. And unfortunately, it turned out that Van Vliet just kept himself in the game by answering the questions that he did. And then with Benson, with his misses in the third round, forced it to go into sudden death. So big props and big kudos to these guys for their match and just the idea of they've now hit all the big beats that you can get thrown into in a very first match. So anything that they have coming up after that, they've kind of already been there, done that. They've been in these high intense matches.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and props to Chris Van Vliet for, I know this was his rookie match, but I think it was a veteran move to go as a multiple choice for the ones that he didn't know in round 2. But also props to Doug Benson for sweeping up those steals. So great match. I hope to see more of these two in the future.
Absolutely. Just going to do a quick double check here to make sure we don't have anything to address from Streamlabs here. No, I believe we are. Oops, I'm sorry. We did get one.
Whoa.
Awesome. Big one from Ben Rayner. Thank you so much with the $14.99 super chat. Hey guys, great show as always. I think Sabrina is good and hopefully see her in a teams match. That is a very compelling offer. Just the idea of seeing her in a team situation where she can rely on somebody else. She's not kind of out on an island by herself to make those big decisions there in round 2, as well as feeling like you've got somebody else on your side, even though you're answering questions solo in round 1, you still have kind of that person there along for the ride with you. So good.
I also think she has a very specific skill set that other players might not have. So I think her skills might be very complementary for another player. So I think that teams could be where she shines.
Absolutely. Well, time will tell here. So let's move into our pay-per-view match, which first match was the tournament final. So we have a 5-round match here between Gold Leader and Thomas Harper, the Major. Love both of these guys. Round 1, we start off with Harper being up by 2, getting a perfect round plus the bonus, 9 and 11 points there respectively for Gold Leader and Harper. Coming over into round 2, Harper decides to spin first. He spins opponent's choice and is given mixed bag. But this is Star Wars, and he is able to sweep for the full 10 out of 10. Gold Leader answers with taking the Phantom Menace on his first spin and also sweeping for the full 10 out of 10. Harper is still up by 2 with a score of 21-19. Going into the third round, or the betting round, Harper, because he is ahead, is the person to effectively spin. They end up on A New Hope. They both bet the full 3 points, and they both answer it correctly. So, again, Harper's still tied. Score is now 24-22. Now we get to the speed round, where we have Harper elects to answer questions first. He answers all his questions in the allotted time, none incorrect, for the full 10 points there. Gold Leader comes up next. He passes on question 5, but is able to answer all of his questions within the time limit with also none incorrect. So again, 10 points for both of them, and we are still tied with Harper being up now, still 2. Final score of 34-32 coming out of that 4th round, going into the 5th and final round. Gold leader, 2-pointer in solo. Harper, 2-pointer in heroes. Gold leader, 3-pointer in Rogue One. Harper, 3-pointer in the Clone Wars. Gold leader, 5-pointer in Revenge of the Sith. Harper gets a 5-pointer question in Who Said It, which he answers correctly to win with a final score 44-42, where Gold leader answered 28 of 29 questions for 97% accuracy and scored 96% of 44 available points. Thomas Harper answered 30 of 30 questions for 100% accuracy and scored 100% of 44 available points. Both of these guys are machines. That's all I can say. It's ridiculous.
Thomas Harper going perfect. I mean, that's unheard of. I am shocked. Color me shocked. We talked about the last Star Wars match, Gold Leader versus Zach Burkett, and how Zach Burkett lost because he checked down a multiple choice once. Mm-hmm. A single letter is what cost Gold Leader this match. One letter.
One letter off. That is all it took. Oh my goodness.
You can't make any mistakes when you're playing Thomas Harper. You just can't.
Yeah, and Harper was giving no inches. He was full speed ahead the whole time, not letting up whatsoever. And yeah, so the stats end up working out to where Gold Leader misses 1 in round 1 as far as accuracy goes, but that is also missing out on 2 points in the potential points earned because you missed out on the opportunity to get that bonus question. So round 1, bonus questions matter in your potential points earned. Amazing match. So impressed with both these guys for their first outing in a 5-round format. Still very interesting that Harper was still able to utilize his whiteboard during that speed round, which I didn't know what he was going to end up doing with that. It's going to be interesting to see how if he changes up that at all when he faces either Laura Kelly or Andrew DiMolanta in the title match that is coming up down the line here.
I really thought that if Thomas Harper had a weakness, it would be the speed round. And let me tell you what, I was a fool for ever doubting him. He stayed cool, calm, collected throughout the entire thing. He took his time, and he just nailed it. Like, what else can you say? He didn't need to rush through it. So, I mean, unreal.
Absolutely. And I mean, Gucci and Gold Leader said the same thing. They were all expecting Harper to fumble a little bit in the speed round. And Harper said, yeah, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to continue to go perfect as I have been. So, I mean, neither of these guys, their Gold Leader stats are not going to suffer from this match whatsoever. He was, again, 1 letter off from getting that opportunity to go perfect as well. And we could still be going in sudden death.
Yeah. I think Gold Leader is going to be in a championship match sooner than later. He's just so good. And I love Thomas Harper. Part of me was hoping like Gold Leader would win because I think the dynamic between him and Laura Kelly or Andrew DiMolanta would have been so good. But Thomas Harper is he's borderline unstoppable at this point. So I'm very much looking forward to his title shot.
Absolutely. Well, without further ado, speaking of title shots, we have a number 1 contender match to round out our pay-per-view evening, which was Chandra, the Chosen Dantapani, against Robert the Spider Parker. Chandra coming off of a tough loss to Mara to be stripped of his title at the beginning of the year, and Robert Parker just on a tear the past couple matches, being very impressive in all of his outings thus this season. So how did this all break down? We had, coming out of round 1, first and second question, they missed respectively. Parker missing the first question, Chandra missing the second question, to where they are tied at 9. Neither of them able to get the perfect round there in round 1. Coming into round 2, Chandra, being the former champion, defers over to Parker, where Parker takes TMNT on his first spin, where he is able to get 9 out of 10 points, checking down a multiple choice once, but not giving up any steal opportunities there. And Chandra decides to take Dystopian Future and Time Travel on his first spin, where he sweeps for the full 10 out of 10, to where now Chandra has gained 1 to be up 19 to 18 going into the final round, where Parker hits a 2-pointer in Marvel, Chandra his own in Spider-Man, Parker hitting a 3-pointer in TMNT, Chandra's in DC, Parker 5-pointer in X-Men, Chandra hitting his 5-pointer in Jurassic Park, giving Chandra the win with a final score of 29 to 28, where Chandra Dandapani answered 17 of 18 questions for 94% accuracy and scored 94% of 31 available points. Robert Parker answered 17 of 18 questions, also for 94% accuracy, and scored 90% of 31 available points. So, again, our idea of being just one off. There's a couple different scenarios that could have worked themselves out here. Had Parker not checked down the multiple choice in round 2, they would have been tied. Right. However, had Parker hit that first question in fantasy sci-fi, he would have gotten the opportunity for a bonus question, which could have potentially put him up by 1, to which it wouldn't have mattered, or actually, I'm sorry, it would have put him up by 2. So that would have negated the detriment of him checking down to multiple choice in TMNT. So in reality, that round 1 miss was more detrimental than him checking down to multiple choice in round 2. Now, what are your thoughts?
If you're playing at this level of competition, that 1 miss in round 1 is detrimental. And I will repeat my 4 favorite words: stop doubting Asian players. But also, I really love Robert Parker, so I would have been fine if either one of them won. It's nice to see Chandra coming back after his loss to Mara. I think that I had some concerns because with all the new categories, you can see that Chandra struggled with them in the title match against Mara. But I know how Chandra studies. I know how he prepares. I know that he puts in as much, if not more, work than anybody else. So it was just a matter of time before he nailed all these new categories. And I think he really impressed me. I think he's back to championship fighting shape. I said earlier this year that this could be the season of the Spider. I still think that it very much can be. I don't think his season is done at all, especially with how well he played this match. I think he will be back. I think he will be back in the championship picture sooner than later. But yeah, I'm just so impressed with Chandra and Robert Parker for that matter, because this was so close. The tiniest of mistakes is what cost Robert Parker this match, and that's just how it goes when you're at this level.
Absolutely, and the idea of what was viewed as inherently a stumbling block for Chandra with those newer categories, he had a pretty short turnaround to get proficient at those categories, given when those categories were released and when he had to face Mara for the title. Yep. So I think that definitely any inherent weakness that could have come from there, knowing the dedication he has, he pretty much alleviated that deficit pretty quickly. So I think he's definitely going to be giving Mike Kalinowski a run for his money when he faces him for the title in July.
I cannot wait for that match. These two are trash talking before they even cross paths, but now they're in a head-on collision. I cannot wait for it. It's evil versus evil. I can't wait for it.
Absolutely there. That is going to be a juggernaut of a match. Who knows what character Chandra's going to come in as. That there is going to be fireworks before the match, definitely during. And let's not forget, you've also got Winston Marshall and Shannon Barney across from each other. That also is a trip and a half to watch, and it is so much fun.
I can't wait for it. The amount of trash talk this match will have, not just in the match itself, but like on social media and everything. Oh, I can't wait. This is why I watch the Schmoedown for this right here. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Guys, I am just checking Streamlabs here one last time here. All right, looks like we are good there. But that was all the matches we had. We had 5 matches this week. This next week, we're only going to have 3 matches. So remember when we were lucky to get 2 matches in a week? Now,
no, I don't remember that, Megs. I don't remember. It's been so long.
Fair enough. Good point. But yes, this is a light week with only 3 matches to cover, but we will be back nonetheless. Same time, same place, Mondays, 4 PT, 7 Eastern, to keep you abreast on all the things that were happening during the week. Be sure to check out all of our social media accounts, which are listed down in the description down below. Nat, what else do we have going on this channel with you?
Well, tomorrow, maybe. I think Dylan's not going to be here tomorrow, but we'll figure it out. We usually have Tuesdays at 6 Pacific on Tuesdays, obviously, to Switch Tuesdays. So check us out there. We just talk about whatever. If you want to like give us topics to talk about, just hang out in the chat and we'll just talk about whatever. Last week we ranked the max of the world, so in honor of Alex's birthday. So check that out. That was a good episode. And also check out No Chill. We just saw her in a match. Check out the Sabrina No Chill. That's one of my favorites, and also the Sean Sullivan No Chill. We haven't really set in stone what our next No Chill is going to be, but it's going to happen this month. So keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely. And as always, be sure that you are liking this video. Throw a comment down there. And if you are just finding this channel, make sure you're subscribed as well so you can be updated every time we go live and all the great content that we're bringing all throughout the rest of this season. But until next time, for Nat here and the entire C2A channel and Call to Action team, I'm Megs, and this has been After Action Report, signing off.